All right, guys, welcome to First and Goal. I'm your host, Lava Oriana, brought to you by Four Corner Sports. All right, guys, a very rare video that I haven't released any football content in quite some time. So, guys, we got some big news in the NFL. All right, quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, yes, Bills Mafia. You guys are gonna love this. Your quarterback Josh Allen agreed to a 6-year deal worth up to over $250 million. Yes. He ended up signing 6 years, $258 million was going to Josh Allen, the 25-year-old quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. That is phenomenal stuff right there. I love to see when athletes do get paid. All right. It is something that I do cherishly, love to see because of the fact that guys have worked so hard in their lives. All right. Busting it out, doing 2-a-days, having long practices and stuff like that. And for where Josh Allen was drafted, right? He wasn't the first overall pick. That was Baker Mayfield. He wasn't the second overall pick. That was Saquon Barkley. He wasn't the third overall pick. I believe that was Sam Darnold, right? I believe, what was it? Wasn't it Josh Rosen picked the head? No, I'm sorry. It was Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, and then after that you had Lamar Jackson. Those were the 5 quarterbacks selected in that quarterback class. And if you come down to look at it, there's only 3 of them that are actually very good. Sam Darnold, there's still question marks just because of the incompetency of the New York Jets on how they didn't allow him to flourish. I mean, this guy had number 1 overall draft pick potential. He was phenomenal in USC. But Josh Allen, coming out of North Dakota State, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that was the university that he ended up playing for. I really hope I didn't get that one wrong. I'm sorry, the University of Wyoming. I'm thinking of what's it called? The guy that ended up having to have foot surgery. What was his name? Not Jared Goff, the other guy. But you guys know who I'm talking about. The Indianapolis Colts quarterback. It's not coming out to the top of my head. But yeah, guys. Josh Allen is going to be having a 6-year deal, $258 million into his bank account. I believe $150 million of that is guaranteed, so that's the most important number to look at. Now, why is this very significant? Is that he is the very first quarterback of that draft class to sign, all right? Honestly, I would have thought Lamar Jackson would have signed first, but the fact that Josh Allen ended up signing kind of sets the table, all right? The way how this works in NFL free agency, whoever signs the contract first is setting the table for the next guy to raise the value even better. All right. So this actually is a really good contract in the aspect for Allen, just because, sure, if you divide all 6 years, on the annual basis on how much he's going to be getting per year, he's going to be getting around $43 million a year. That's phenomenal. That's around Patrick Mahomes money that what Patrick Mahomes is going to be generating annually. So, but the thing is also works in Josh Allen's favor is the fact that he is 25. By the time this contract is officially over, it'll be 2028, and he'll be 31 years old, ineligible, and getting a second big-time contract where he's able to go maybe possibly another 6 more years, depending on his health. All right, so it's really good. It seems like the Buffalo Bills have so much, so much invested into Josh Allen that they were like, you know what? We see the progression. We see the ability that he's able to take us. Why don't we give him this contract? And I think it was well deserved by both parties. I think this contract, helps out also Buffalo, just because at some point within those 6 years, the cap is going to rise. The cap is going to rise, and it's going to give you guys more flexibility. I think that by Allen setting the table for those quarterbacks that were part of that draft class, I think Baker Mayfield, I don't see him signing. I see him possibly signing maybe next year, just because I think he's going to gamble on himself. For Baker Mayfield's aspect, what was it, year 1? He didn't start until, I believe, week 3. He had Hugh Jackson. He had Freddie Kitchens, or not Freddie Kitchens. the defensive coordinator that that had the whole bounty gate for Greg Williams. That's his name. He had him. Next year he had Freddie Kitchens, and then now year 3 he had Kevin Stefanski, which that was his best year. So I think Baker Mayfield is gonna try to prove, the media, fans that, hey, you know what, year 3 that was his best year. Even though he didn't have Odell Beckham Jr. for the majority of the year, he's gonna have Odell coming back this year. Who Odell is looking phenomenal from what I'm seeing. I think he's gonna bank on himself on year 4, possibly sign that extension on year 5, and moving on forward. For Lamar Jackson, I was very surprised that he didn't sign any type of an extension, just due to the fact that he is a running quarterback. Now, running quarterbacks, he is electrifying. He's already won an MVP. He's won his very first playoff game this past season against the Tennessee Titans. And I was thinking, like, you know what? Maybe Lamar's gonna sign. Maybe Lamar's, the fact that there's that question mark on his throwing ability and how is he going to be as a passer of the football. How is he going to be able to understand coverages and stuff like that? Because when he's running, he's almost impossible to stop. But running the football is going to allow him to get more yards, get more first downs, and more ability to score as many points as possible. Because if Lamar Jackson was able to throw that football, it would be almost physically impossible to stop him, because of the fact that he is so lightning quick. And if he had anything close to what Michael Vick was, being able to at least have a strong arm and generate, that pass dual threat, then we'll be talking about a different Lamar Jackson. But I would say I thought Lamar should have at least signed over Josh Allen. But just because of the fact that running quarterbacks, they do get hit, and if Lamar Jackson was to get hurt, on his lower extremities, how would that impact him as a quarterback, now that he would have to be forced to throw the football? So that's something to think about. But I imagine when Lamar Jackson, it's time to sign the contract, he's going to be like, hey, I expect this type of money, and this is going to be my asking price starting forward. And then we'll just move on from here. But Sam Darnold, I think he's got to at least prove himself within a year or two to see how is he eligible to getting a contract of this stature. Definitely got to get the Carolina Panthers to the playoffs. Definitely got to get the Carolina Panthers to at least the divisional round. And then maybe next year, moving on forward, he has somebody like Christian McCaffrey in the backfield. He has his old running teammate, Robbie Anderson. He has DJ Moore on the other outside. So there's a lot of eyes, a lot of expectations on Sam Darnold. They got him in a trade with the New York Jets. The New York Jets were able to exchange, where they were able to get what's called draft pick compensation, and to build up for the future. So Joe Douglas can get that. But moving back to what Josh Allen every single year has improved. But was it the year before in 2019 or 2020? No, yeah, it was 2020. Went to the wild card round, lost to the Houston Texans. Goes into the 2021 playoffs, loses to Patrick Mahomes in the AFC title game. I believe that the Buffalo Bills, even though they, according to Forbes, they are the least profitable franchise in the NFL, they have invested so much money into Josh Allen that he's up there with Patrick Mahomes as generating one of the most annual per basis salary going into the NFL season. So it's very cool to see somebody that's a team that's as not as profitable as the Buffalo Bills saying, hey, you know what, this is our future quarterback. We're not going to let him go. We're going to treat him like a future, like a franchise quarterback that he is. And we'll see, what heights he could take us. The only question is Josh Allen going to be able to progress and improve to get to the point where he's able to compete and, be able to beat Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game? Because that's the only really, litmus test outside of that, just making a Super Bowl, is he going to be able to stop his arch nemesis, Patrick Mahomes, in the playoffs? And is he going to be able to get the Bills Mafia their first Super Bowl title? I don't think they've won a Super Bowl title, in my mistake. I know Jim Kelly's brought them to 4 in a row, and they lost. But is Josh Allen able to get a Super Bowl title for Buffalo Bills and Bills Mafia? But there you go, guys. That's everything that I wanted to talk about. Josh Allen gets a super mega contract, well-deserved. Who's going to be the next quarterback that signs next? Would it be Lamar? Would it be Baker? Who do you think? Put it in the comment section below. Till then, I'm Flower Rihanna. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace, guys, and have a good one.